Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tokyo. Been a little while since we've been here. We actually started out in Japan in Tokyo. Didn't really get to spend much time here, but I've been through Tokyo many times. So, today we are on a bit of a mission. I know I'm just kind of sitting here, and the reason why is because, so I was going to take the subway. Now, I don't do well when there's like billions of people. I don't like it. So basically I took one subway from where my hotel was to Shinagawa Station, which I completely forgot is literally like one of the largest subway stations in all of Tokyo, because I guess it's like a central gate to where everybody goes in different directions around the city or even out of the city. So I get there and there are like literally 4 billion people, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's walk. From there to Shinjuku, which is about a 2-hour and 4-minute walk. So far, I'm just over halfway. I'm almost in Shinjuku, and I stumbled upon something that I had found while doing my research. It's actually a place called AOYAMA Cemetery. I think that's how you pronounce it. Reason why it's significant is because it is one of the oldest public cemeteries here in Japan. Some of the graves actually date back to 1870, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of historical significance related to World War II. There's a lot of diplomats, politicians that are buried here, soldiers. It's not really known as a soldier cemetery, but there are soldiers from World War II buried here as well as foreigners. This was one of the only cemeteries in Japan where you could actually bury foreigners for one reason or another. So I didn't realize that I was coming through this section, but I did have it marked off on my maps, and I'm kind of glad I came through here. This so far looks pretty cool. It also looks like it might rain at some point, but the weather is pretty good. It's warm, as you can see. It is t-shirt weather now, finally. But yeah, what do you guys say we go and roam around the cemetery? I just need a second to kind of just like rest because I've literally been walking for like 4 or 5 kilometers already, and it's been awesome. I just really wanted to kind of clear my mind, and that's kind of one reason I didn't want to get into the packed ass subway, which was just insane. I probably would have had to wait for like 3 different trains, and I'm just like, no thanks. It was like, I have like literally no joke, the thing was packed to the door. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's head on in there. So this is kind of the main road here that separates the cemetery. There's like 2 different sections, but I kind of wanted to go and view this side first. I want to see what that sign also has to say. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of the locals will not come here during the night. Apparently this place is like open 24 hours. You can come even at night. Now, I'm not going to come at night because I didn't bring my lights or anything like that, so unfortunately we won't really be able to see much. Oh my god. Oh, nice ride. Anyway, it's so cool seeing like all the old JDM cars. You really never know what you're gonna see out here, but at first glance, this is what the place looks like. Now, Japanese cemeteries honestly just hit different. I've been through the one in Kyoto. It was very impressive. Yeah, so Aoyama Cemetery, Japan's first public cemetery with 140 years of history, and it is absolutely massive. There's a lot of spots in here. I don't know like where all of the most significant or important people, if you will, are buried here, but it says there's 14,000 tombs that are the final resting places of 126,000 departed souls. Wow, that is massive. Yeah, as I was saying, a lot of the locals refuse to come here because apparently this place is super haunted. It's known for eerie feelings, and a lot of people have claimed to have seen a lot of apparitions here. I'm gonna go up this way first, kind of get a glance as to what it looks like, and then we'll probably just continue on that way because that's pretty much really where I gotta go. It's already 3 o'clock, believe it or not. I slept in, which I really needed because I've been exhausted from filming those back-to-back haunted forest videos. Took a lot out of me, to say the least, but today we're just kind of doing a little bit of a chill day. Kind of filming, vlogging here and there. This is pretty cool. So far it is pretty eerie. Let's get up kind of to the top here. Wow, this is beautiful. Very different from cemeteries in the West. Oh wow, look at that thing. Damn. Yeah, this is pretty friggin' cool. It is impressive to say the least. I want to see that thing. That is amazing. There's a cool signboard. Wow. I don't know what the heck that thing is, but impressive. Are there actually tombs here? Oh, I think there are. There's something written there on the wall. This thing looks, oh, look at that. It's literally like cracked, breaking apart. They probably fixed it over time. Oh, yeah, not gonna be able to read that, but apparently we got some connection to boats, which in my guess is what this is. This looks like a cannon. Yeah, I think it's a very old cannon. And these look like rounds. I don't really know if they are, but it looks like they are. What a neat place. Okay, so apparently these are actually old military ships that were essentially lost at sea, sunk, I'm guessing during World War II. And that's kind of why they built this monument. That's very fascinating. I did not expect to find stuff like this over here, but we're gonna keep roaming through and see what the rest of this place looks like. It's quite peaceful, actually. And it's funny too, because we're like kind of close to really busy, popular areas out here, and you don't hear too much. It's not like insanely noisy, so to say, anyway. But let's keep going this way. No cherry blossoms yet. It seems like they're very late here in Tokyo. I am gonna head to a park that I went to last year, and if they've bloomed, then they should be bloomed. Wow. So this is what 126,000 graves looks like in the middle of the world's largest city. It's quite unbelievable. I don't really know which section to go to next. You could tell that some of them are really old, like that one, and then there's literally like a brand new one smack dab right next to it. Let's go down here for a second. So far this is, I think, my third or fourth Japanese cemetery. If anything, at some point we might actually come here at night and just kind of see what the vibe is like, I guess. With lights and everything, obviously. Guess we can head in this direction. Now what happened here? For some reason there's no grass. You can tell it's quite old. Doesn't say any years though, there's no numbers. There's another big monument looking thing over there. Go and take a look at that. Damn, it's just like endless at this point. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. It's built almost like a shrine. That is neat. Not really sure what this is. I'm gonna see if I can actually translate that. There's a lot of bottles of water. And I noticed the star, so I wonder if it's for soldiers, maybe? Possibly? But yeah, there's a whole bunch of like bottles of water there for some reason. Not really too sure why. It is quite beautiful though. Yeah, for some reason it didn't really seem to be translating correctly. It looked like there was a name, Maru Ritsune. I don't know if that actually is a name, but I did a Google search, nothing really came up, so maybe it just didn't translate properly. Okay, I really love the trees in here. This is really, really neat. It would be so different if cherry blossoms bloomed here, because I imagine there'd probably be whole rows of them just walking down. Oh, cool looking little grave sites there. Another big one right there. Let's see if we can translate what this one says. So this one is quite fascinating. So this guy was a professor. His name was Matoda Nagagaku. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Born 1818, died of influenza in 1891. What's interesting is that in 1871, he was actually recommended to become Emperor Meiji's tutor or educator, and he devoted himself wholeheartedly to cultivating the emperor's virtues. In 1890, together with his fellow townsman, Iono Tsuyoshi, he drafted the imperial rescript on education, which clearly stated the fundamental principles of national morality and education. So this dude was quite prominent, hence why he has a big memorial thing. There's basically like a bunch of writing. Some of it was translating, not all of it, so I can't really read all of it, but very interesting. So you can see some of the cherry blossoms are coming through. They're just not ready yet for some reason. I think because winter has been kind of lagging over here, and spring is not has just kind of started now. These birds up here are hilarious because all they do is scream all day. Yeah, we hear ya. It's really funny to hear. It's not a particularly pleasant sound, but I guess that's just what they sound like. This sign over here is quite funny. No dog pooping, please. So what if a dog just decides to crap? Like, what happens? Do you get arrested? That would actually kind of suck. Wow, this section looks quite cool. There's like a neat looking obelisk thing over there. Let's go take a look at that. I don't know what this is for, but I'm guessing it's some sort of ritual or tradition that they like to do. I want to get to that obelisk thing. I want to see what that is all about. I don't know what that says. Wow, that is neat. Oh, looks like we could literally just go right up to it. That is freaking cool. I imagine there's no way that this is for one person. This must be like a really prominent family. I wish there was something that we could read that would tell us that. The other thing too is I believe people here are usually cremated. So that's something. But I'm going to try and translate this and see what it says. You could definitely tell that this side is much older, just based on the wear and tear on a lot of the tombs. Stop screaming! Those birds are just literally always screaming. Damn, what a cool place. Alright, well, I guess we'll continue on this way, which will essentially lead us towards where we want to go. So basically the reason why I ended up coming this direction in the first place is because we need Nespresso pods, and there's only 2 Nespresso boutiques that I could really tell in Tokyo, at least kind of like in this general area of Tokyo. One of them is in Ginza and one of them is in Shinjuku, my bad. So that's kind of why we're heading towards that direction. The other thing is I'm looking for a Bic camera, which is a giant ass electronic and camera store. Oh, I see a lot of cherry blossoms down there. I'm gonna head that direction first. But yeah, basically we need to see if we can get a new light, because both of the ones that I brought are just an absolute mess right now. I think those are inside the cemetery. Looks absolutely lovely down there. Let's go and check that out. Oh, look at this. There's a bust, and holy crap, that's a big ass bird. Damn, look at this. This is friggin' epic. I wonder who this guy was. So this thing right here is telling me hold on. I just had it translated. It says Tombs of Ogawa's Successive Generations. I don't really know what that means. Obviously it's like a family thing. Oh, okay, there's an actual name. Ogawa Mashiko Reiwa, year 37. And then it says October 9, 2019? Huh. Oh my god, the bus literally just scared the crap out of me. I just look behind me and just see this person staring at me. Man, you're intense. This view right now is like insane. You just have graves of the cemetery, and then you just have all these massive buildings in the backdrop. It's pretty crazy, man. Tokyo is just like something else. There's always something to see. Alright, that's kind of what I wanted to see. I do wish it was on that side. It would have looked so much better, but at least there's some. That's neat. Look how pretty it looks. Wow. This is really cool. Well, it's finally starting to happen. So as I mentioned before, it seems like, I guess because winter kind of ended a little bit later here in Japan, like it's been cold basically up until yesterday. Really, realistically, like yesterday I was walking around in a t-shirt all day, and I think that's what's having an effect on the cherry blossoms. There was some spots like in Atami, there was a whole row of the early bloomers, which usually I think that they bloom typically in Tokyo first, but it seems to be happening everywhere else first, and then now it's happening in Tokyo. So sucks for those people who came mid-March and then are leaving now, because they basically won't be able to see them. Okay, so this is kind of crazy. I literally walked out, and there's still the other half of the cemetery to walk through. We're gonna walk through there. I don't know what we're gonna see. Yeah, there's a lot of commotion back there. But yeah, I don't really know specifically what we're gonna see. If there's anything cool to document in the cemetery, we will. But we gotta start hurrying up, otherwise the national park might close before we even manage to get there, which would kind of suck. Not that there aren't other places to explore and see cherry blossoms anyways, but that's just kind of what I want to do today. Not much. Damn, I'm just trying to imagine this all bloomed. We might have to come back here in like about a week or so, because this whole walkway here would be completely filled. This right here looked really cool, so I wanted to come and get a little bit of a closer look. Wow, the gate right here, so perfect. And there's also a perfect little bench here. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, well, that's interesting, they installed armrests. They're actually not armrests. When they do this to benches, it's so that way people don't sleep on them, which is kind of funny. I'd also like to point out another thing. My ass really hurts right now, like specifically my right ass cheek more than my left, and it's from doing so much walking, but I gotta burn off a bunch of calories. Me and Andrew went out last night, who is my good friend who lives here in Tokyo, and we ate a lot of food and we drank a decent amount. We didn't get like plastered or anything, but holy crap did we lose track of time. And the thing here in Tokyo too is that the subway stopped running. Usually last train is literally like 12 o'clock, almost dead right on, almost right at midnight pretty much. I think it was like 12:04 or something like that. So luckily I noticed the time when I did, otherwise we both would have had really expensive taxis to get back home. Well, that's interesting. There's like a whole wall crypt kind of thing over here. So the one thing that you notice too is no pictures. They never put any pictures on any of the graves. Strange to me, but I mean, I guess if that's tradition over here, I guess I'm just so used to back home how we do it. We always have, you know, the pictures of our loved ones posted there, so you can actually see them when you go and visit. But It's different. You can tell this is definitely newer. I guess eventually they're gonna probably run out of space, right? Now that is actually pretty cool. You can tell it's really, really old. I think all of the ones over here are pretty old. Oh, there's more. I just noticed that there's like another one here. I assume this is Buddhist. That's what it looks like to me. Two predominant religions here are Shintoism and Buddhism. Let's go down there, and then I think we're pretty much done. Went through pretty much the entire cemetery. Man, I'm already noticing that there's we got a lot of time on this video, but this place was just super cool. I think this one was actually better, in my opinion, than the one that we checked out in Kyoto several times. That one's really cool too, just because of the way the landscape is, because it's like multiple different levels. But this one just hits different. So that is pretty much it for the cemetery. I'm gonna just stop for a second, throw my sweater on because it's starting to get a little cool. And we're going to continue basically heading that way towards, so it looks like there's the Gyoen National Park. I was checking Google Maps. It looks like it might be closed today for some reason, but we're going to go anyways. We'll see kind of what's in that general area. And I kind of just want to hang out in Shinjuku for the rest of the day just because it's a really, really cool, unique area. Very, very busy, especially this time of year, but it's always a lot of fun. Also, I just wanted to point out one thing. I had shawarma here. Well, it's technically shawarma, but they called it kebab, and it was horrible. It was like a cabbage sandwich wrap thing, and the chicken was just gross, too much cartilage. I think the guy puts like cumin or curry or maybe a little bit of both. He was from Nepal, and unfortunately it just really sucked. The only upside was that it was cheap. It was like 700 yen, which is like $7 Canadian. Maybe that's what, like $4.50 US. But other than that, in my opinion, apart from getting my proteins for the day and keeping me going for the next couple hours, definitely not worth it. So I came up this way, and this appears to be the Royal Garden. Now, everything's looking a little dead, but it looks like things are about to start blooming, I guess. I can imagine when all the the vegetation finally grows on these trees, it's probably gonna look really cool. It looks really cool now, but I just imagine it's probably gonna be a whole different vibe soon. I'm also trying to find a coffee shop. There was a Royal Garden Cafe back there, but for some reason they didn't have coffee to go. Couldn't really figure out why. It's kind of all I want right now. Just coffee, maybe some water. I have water, but it's kind of warm now. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Civic Type R in Japan. That is sick. I've always actually wanted to test drive one of those cars. How cool would it be? Maybe I should rent one. What if that's my next rental instead of that little 48 horsepower box on wheels that we had the other day? But there's also something going on down there. It sounds like a marching band or something. So I don't really know, but we are getting a little bit closer. Just a little closer, one step at a time. Whoa, what in the world? That is one cool looking building. It's freaking massive. Damn, what a cool area. I kind of love this. It's quiet, not super busy. Just a very enjoyable day today here. So this is kind of cool to see. Got the National Stadium here. It is absolutely massive. What's kind of cool though is, like, if you notice on all the different levels, it's like a garden the whole way around. That's actually pretty neat. So recently they just did an Expo game. Now I don't really follow baseball that much. I am somewhat of a fan. Go Blue Jays. I mean, I guess by default, being from Toronto, or Toronto area rather, you have to be a fan of the Blue Jays. Not really. I think they've kind of been pretty shit since like maybe about 10 years ago. But anyway, there was an Expo here in Tokyo. I don't know if they played in this stadium, but there's a very famous player from Japan who plays for the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. And he was here and people went absolutely nuts. I remember I was at a bar in Atami just kind of watching like the replays, and I think he scored a home run and everybody just went absolutely nuts, which is pretty cool because he's like really, really loved here in Japan. I mean, obviously he's literally considered the best player in the world right now, and he's from here, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, just kind of a neat thing that went down over here. Well, this is definitely not something you see every day in Tokyo. There's a lot of trash here. It looks like somebody's probably been camping out over here. It looks like they're kind of cleaning it up, or they're fixing something. I don't really know what the heck they're doing, but holy moly, what the hell? There's like clothes hanging in the trees there. So the thing too is that there's not really like a homeless problem, but they do exist. And from what I know is they're like really well hidden here in Japan. You generally, like in Tokyo, for example, you generally never see homeless people. I have seen like there was one guy, I don't remember where I was, the airport, I think, or a bus terminal or somewhere. And it was really sad because he was like going around picking up half-finished cigarettes, and I saw him doing it, and I'm just kind of like, oh man, that kind of sucks, right? Like that's super sad. All the guy wants is a friggin' cigarette. So I pulled out one of my own and I just handed him one, and he was like super grateful for it. But I mean, back to the homelessness thing, it does exist, but like I said, you just don't see it very often. But what you do get is a lot of weird smells sometimes, and I think it comes from the vehicles. I think there's something that in the vehicles here to lower emissions. It just makes the end product of the, fuel burning smell really, really weird. So we're like finally almost there. I've been walking for basically about 2 hours, and looks like those guys are doing some kind of photo shoot back there. Can't really see through the bush, but so yeah, the park is not far. Maybe 8 more minutes, roughly, I think. Finally found some coffee at Excelsior Cafe. It's basically like a rip-off of Starbucks. In my opinion, it's a little bit better. Not great, but it's coffee. All right, we made it to the national park just in the nick of time. We literally have 1 hour. I didn't realize that the times actually change. So the gates actually close now at 6 p.m. after March 15. And I did ask the lady at the gate, I'm like, oh, is there the Sakura? She couldn't really speak English, so I just said, Sakura? And she's like, and I'm just like, a little bit. Okay, I understand. So it'll still be kind of cool. I can still see some. She told me if you go down this way, there's like a few trees that have a bunch, so I can already kind of see it. Yeah, I can see some down there. And there's a bunch down here as well. Basically, wherever you see large groups of people, if you want to see the cherry blossoms, that's pretty much where you go. Because everybody's going to be there too, taking photos. And well, at least it's the first glimpse of them. We'll definitely have to come back when they bloom a lot more, but let's go see what there are so far. I mean, I did pay 500 yen to come in here. It's not like it was free. But honestly, that's not even really that much. That's like $5. And they do a great job of maintaining the park. It's a pretty amazing spot. So definitely worth the 500 yen in my opinion. So you can see right here that these are all about to bloom very soon. Probably by next week, I'd imagine. These are all going to be filled just like the ones over here. Look at that. That is so cool. Definitely quite magical. The birds are obviously enjoying it too. You have some people down there just kind of picnicking, enjoying it. There is another area down that way. I'm gonna head over there and see what's blooming. Now that is cool. Look how much there is down there. Damn, it's quite magical. I just love how into it everybody is. I think there's also a couple here who are newly married and they're taking their wedding photos here. Great idea, great opportunity. I just feel like this one spot here is just, I don't know, it's so special. That's why I really wanted to come back. And considering not all the cherry blossoms are bloomed yet, we will have to come back, obviously, because I remember last year that specific side, because that whole spot is designated as a cherry tree area, and once it fully blooms, it is just like out of this world. Oh, there's a bunch more over here too. Wow, these ones have really bloomed. Holy, that's awesome. All right, well, that's pretty much that. We are kind of starting to run out of time in terms of actual daylight. So we basically, I think we got about another 23 minutes, it looked like, to get to the Nespresso boutique. So let's go do that. And then I think I'm gonna check out a bit camera as well. Then just roam around for a little bit and then basically head back to the hotel, because I got to make some calls. I got some important stuff I gotta do. I actually have to call Air Canada and sort out my credit to use basically to fly home, which I don't like setting dates so far in advance, but unfortunately I think I have to. I'll explain later. All right guys, welcome to Shinjuku. It is officially the shit show area where there's just tons of traffic, tons of people everywhere, but we're here to shop till we drop, so I think the place we're going is down there. Damn, look at that. That is cool. Just right smack dab in the middle of all the chaos. And you got cherry blossoms. And I'm still looking to see where a bit camera is. I know there's one around here somewhere, but just kind of taking it all in is pretty wild. So where we got to go initially is like behind this big building. I think there's a bridge that we got to take, but let's get a little closer to this for a second. I love it. We'll probably come down into this area afterwards once we're all done. What I think is the funniest part is having to take a bridge in order to cross the street, because these are legit some of the busiest streets that you will find in Tokyo. Between cars and pedestrians, it's freaking crazy, other than maybe Shibuya. But damn, is it ever hell of a view. It is just so crazy. And that's the other side. Well, through the glass anyway. Let me raise you guys up. Surprisingly, I still don't see a bit camera. There is one somewhere. Kind of funny. So I'm literally just trying to take some B-roll shots of the streets, and the whole bridge is just bouncing up and down. I can't even hold the camera still. It's hilarious. Oh wow, that's kind of freaky. Kind of feels like there's an earthquake, but I don't think there is. All right guys, so I am currently just sitting here, just chilling. I went to Bit Camera, I got my Nespresso pods, and unfortunately I didn't find a light that I really liked. They're kind of weird, I don't know, but the crazy thing is how cheap everything is here. So for example, I recently purchased a microphone back home on Amazon. I believe it was somewhere between 520 and 550 Canadian dollars. And here they have the same microphone tax-free for about $320. So I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, whatever. But I did find some beer. I actually just messaged a friend of mine, Daniel. We went to Berlin many years ago, back in 2012, and we went to a bar and they had like 100 different beers on tap, and we're like, give us your best one. And they gave us one called Skofferhofer. Funny enough, I went into the camera store. It's not just a camera store. They had literally sell everything. And I found the exact same beer. So I'm literally just sitting here, just drinking it, just taking it in. And I'll probably walk around a little bit more. Probably gonna find a place to have another drink after this, and then we're gonna head back to the hotel, because like I said, I got lots of things to do tonight. So I kind of just want to show you guys what everything looks like. If you've never seen this before, this is Shinjuku. Lots of shops and lights and stores and restaurants and a little bit of everything. It's pretty freaking awesome. But we're basically gonna head down this way. I think I'm gonna go to a place called The Hub. I have it marked on my maps. If I find another like bar or pub or something or izakaya that's on the way, I'll probably just stop there. But I know that place, and it's fun. It's a fun vibe. So I'm trying to decide where to go. Debating on just heading down there. There's a place over here that actually looks kind of interesting. British pub, Morris Lamb Chop. Okay, I don't know what the hell that's all about, but I think I might just head to the hub. All right, just a little bit further. This is literally all you do in Japan, is just walk everywhere you go. Just walk and walk and walk until your legs don't work anymore. And the hub has been located. It's actually a pretty cool spot. Good to just kind of have a drink, hang out for a sec, and then I gotta get the hell out of here, so.